Since 1958, the Toyota LandCruiser made a name for itself all the way until 2021 here in North America. It was discontinued at the end of the 200 series lifespan, and the 300 series lives on across the world. And while the Lexus lineup has the GX based off the LandCruiser Prado or 150 series, and Lexus also has the LX 600 based off the 300 series LandCruiser, the Toyota counterparts are still missing here in America, not only just from the Toyota lineup, but from the hearts and the minds of consumers. But that all could be changing soon, because one of the top Toyota execs in America is saying that the LandCruiser could very well be returning. Welcome back to the channel. My name's Kirk. You know this channel is dedicated to Japanese and Korean cars. If you're new, welcome aboard. Make sure to subscribe, and let's get into this juicy news, and hopefully we can run with it a little bit today. Over at Motor Trend, the Toyota LandCruiser will return to the US, likely anyways. I mentioned the Lexus lineup essentially having the LandCruisers. However, Jack Hollis is saying that options may be expanding beyond Lexus once again in a few years' time. Few years' time does not sound very far away at all. That could, to me, I'm thinking 2 to 3 years out. So Motor Trend spoke with Jack Hollis after the reveal of the Grand Highlander. Make sure to watch that video. That will not be a body on frame like the LandCruiser, the Sequoia. It will be on the K platform, essentially a longer version of the current Highlander, go figure. Jack was asked if a storied nameplate like the LandCruiser would ever make its return stateside, and he said, "Will we ever? I would say likely yes." And asked if it would be in the foreseeable future, he said we would have to wait for an answer on that one. So it's not out of the equation. And when I heard a few years earlier, that means it's in the near future, or at least I would expect it to be. He says, obviously the LandCruiser is such an important part of our heritage and has done such a great job. And I'll be looking at it, absolutely. Have I seen designs, thoughts, and hopes? Yes, but nothing to announce. It's still a ways off, he said. Now, Motor Trend thinks it's looking beyond the J300 series LandCruiser to whatever the next generation model may look like. And then it most certainly will be electrified, either hybrid or full battery electric. We've seen the light cruiser, compact mini cruiser shown off last year. That's kind of the only glimpse so far we have as a battery electric LandCruiser. There are 3 good LandCruisers that I'm aware of on the market. You have the J300, well, almost 4 if you count the FJ Cruiser still being produced and sold to Central and South America and other parts of the world. So I guess there are 4. Rest in peace, FJ in the United States. So FJ is still alive. You still have the 70 series LandCruiser. That's more of like a complete work truck. And then you have the 300 series, which is like a 4-year waiting period in certain parts of the world. And then we have the continuation of the Prado. We should have a new generation of the Prado, aka Lexus GX, but it looks like that's going to be pushed back. Now, from what I've heard, that the Lexus GX will get a redesign, probably announced maybe mid-2023, available late 2023, probably alongside the Lexus TX, aka Toyota Grand Highlander. What kind of powertrains would we expect in a new LandCruiser if we get it in America? Well, we're either getting the return of the 300 series, which I don't know if that will happen. We already have the LX, and it made sense for Toyota to cancel the 200 series because the LX was like the same price and it was a better vehicle. The LX outsold the 200 series as well here in North America. So I'm not getting my hopes up for 300. I would welcome it. I just think the LandCruiser would make more sense coming as maybe as an upscale sort of 4Runner sort of thing, which is weird because we haven't heard anything about a next-gen 4Runner either at this point. There's a lot of stuff on the drawing board we don't know about, but let's talk powertrains because at least we can hypothesize what would be in the upcoming vehicle. So we know about the twin-turbo V6. This vehicle is already in the LX 600. It's already in the Tundra. It's in this, and that's not in the Sequoia because the Sequoia has the hybrid Max or the iForce Max variant. Well, this is an old spreadsheet. Let's get to the new spreadsheet. These numbers are a little bit more updated. Now, this is what is rumored to come in the upcoming Lexus GX, is a detuned version of this twin-turbo V6. Around 350 horsepower is what I'm guessing, and around 405 pound-feet of torque. It could be more than this because it's going to be running on premium fuel, and these numbers are taken from the SR grade Tundra. So I think this will be the setup, like I said, in the Lexus GX 550 that has been trademarked. If there's a Toyota variant, aka the Prado, coming with this new generation, or should I say the reintroduction of the LandCruiser as a smaller version of the LandCruiser as we knew it, would it have this twin turbo V6? I don't know. It could. I mean, if the GX is getting it, it's not a stretch to assume that the LandCruiser Prado would be getting it in North America either. But Lexus, I feel like, needs to differentiate its products a little bit from the Toyota lineup, and having a better powertrain for the GX over maybe an equivalent LandCruiser would make sense. So what would they put in it? Turbo 4-cylinder is a starter. We know we have the 265 to 275 horsepower inline 4 turbo, the new 2.4, and it's got 310 pound-feet of torque. I think that could be a possibility, and more than likely they would eventually hybridize it. We don't have any evidence of this hybrid yet on the market, but if we extract essentially the technology that is in the Hybrid Max or iForce Max in the Sequoia and the Tundra, we put about a 50 horsepower motor in there and almost 200 pound-feet of torque. We're going to look at a turbo 4-cylinder hybrid giving us over 300 horsepower and 440 pound-feet of torque. And this could be the standard hybrid, or this could be the standard powertrain, just like the Sequoia is a standard hybrid, the Sienna is a standard hybrid, etc. I think the Turbo 4 hybrid, and a detuned V6 is the most likely what we would see in a LandCruiser next-gen Prado that would be introduced into America. So the confusing part to me is if it's not the 300, which it still could be, and it's the next-gen Prado, how does Toyota differentiate itself not only from the Lexus GX, because it's the same vehicle, how does it differentiate itself from the 4Runner? Oh man, this is tough. I don't know. I've thought about this. I just don't know how Toyota is going to do it. Maybe they market the 4Runner kind of as like a current 4Runner. Pretty plain Jane, very reliable, very modest with its styling, and maybe the LandCruiser takes a much more aggressive Bronco / Wrangler approach to attack that sort of market. I think that makes the most sense for me, but I'll see what you guys have to say down below. When would we see this? Well, I have no idea. So I'm just going to base it off of what Motor Trend got out of Jack Hollis. And he says, this is the most important line in this article, in my opinion. Our options may be expanding beyond Lexus once again in a few years' time. Few years is up for interpretation, but that doesn't sound that far out into the future. I'm going to say probably by 2024, 2025. That's just my weak interpretation. What do you think? When do you think a LandCruiser will be coming back? It sounds like it's a done deal based off of the lengthy answers that Jack Hollis was giving with Motor Trend. But thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to stay tuned for any Toyota news here on the channel. A couple days ago, I gave you the Grand Highlander sneak peek, essentially. Stay tuned for February 8th because I will reveal it for you guys. One day review it as well. And then also the Lexus TX variant of it. Can't be far behind that. At the very least, if we never get this LandCruiser, we know that the Lexus GX, like 99% sure, will be out, or at least announced by the end of this year. So that is another new LandCruiser coming into the market to replace the 150 series GX. But I'm going to end it there. Thank you guys so much. I probably said that 100 times. Take care of yourselves and peace.